Previously on the season.
I'm a halfback, fullback. I got a pretty good running game, so I can chuck a dummy and go.
Attendance and lateness. I'll get to you boys over the next week or so. They were a school that were unknown. They were a new school to the competition. They came out early against us and proved quite dangerous.
If you don't reach 85% attendance, then you're unable to take the field.
Go right, Jake. Go right, Jakey. Link up the middle here to Better. Go with him. Go with him. Have a look.
I try my best to study on the bus. I pretty much just try and use all the time I'm given just to try and study.
With the round one victory already a week old, the coaches have scheduled a skills session in preparation for the next pool game with not one, but two former students who have carved their own careers in the National Rugby League.
We're going to do some kicking and catching today. Paddy Richards is going to come down and talk about some catching stuff and some technique things, but we'll run through some kicking to start with. So we'll just split up in pairs. All right, so let's get a footy between two, in between these 10-metre lines. Just come on out on this line. In pairs, get your partner on that line down there. Strike the footy. Nice and gentle to start with, okay? Try and control it, get a touch on the ball. Strike. I guess that for a lot of ex-students, it's provided so much for us in terms of our development. You know, so I think it's important to come and give back to what we've learnt, and if we can help these young kids in the same way that, you know, previous players used to come down and help me, I'm sure that's only going to be of great benefit for them. Boys, the more you lean over the footy, the more control you have. This time here, we're just going to do some catching. I know not everyone does catching in games or kicking in games, so make sure you really drive and you hip up into the defender. So if I'm defending on this side here, the idea is your outside leg is driving up, hip in, catch, hands in the air. So hands nice and high, like AFL style. Get them up real high, yeah? It's changed a little bit. The buildings have changed. It's got a little bit newer. Nice. But yeah, I've seen some of their facilities. They've got a recovery centre and the gymnasium's fantastic, and got a full-time weights coach. It's certainly developed and come a long way since I was here. Just run a block for me. You sit at the back, Joel. We'll just walk through it. If I'm getting the footy, I'm saying here, yeah, flat, I'm rolling. I'm going hard here. I'm pumping, and then I'm going to you. Because then you've got him. Do you know what I mean? Knowing the coach, the head coach of the program that's been here since I was here in Wayne Lambkin, that they'll compete hard, and you know, they won't give up on any play. And I think that's the main thing, is that we can focus on always having I guess a never say die attitude, and giving everything you got. That's the main thing as a young kid, is just to produce effort and just enjoy your footy.
Well, I remember when I was at school here, it was just such a competitive environment to be around that everyone just wanted to be better. You know, and there's so many different sports here that everyone's thriving to be the best. The coaching's really good, but that competitive environment to be around, where everyone's just all focused on their one goal. I came here as an athlete, doing athletics, end up playing rugby league and cricket and all sorts, so gives you that good grounding. You want to watch the ball and catch it like that. So you want to protect the ball. Then if you're near the in-goal area, you can get down nice and low and dive down and get out. Think about when the ball's going behind you, think about protecting yourself. Because if you catch like that, you're going to get smashed that way.
G'day, Pat.
G'day,
welcome back. Good to have you here.
Yeah.
Boys, I just want to, on behalf of you, thank Blake and Pat for coming back. It's absolutely fantastic when former students from Westfields Sports High School come back and share their knowledge and share their expertise. I think the really key thing is regardless of who we have training us, because we're certainly not going to get these superstars coming back to every single training session, that every training session is a really high quality one. Thanks for being here. Let's give them a round of applause. Well, you've got a bit more time now that you're retired. We'll get you back more often.
I've got less time now. I'm in the working world now.
Yeah, not a lot's changed, but the gym's great now. We've got a sort of a no attendance, no play rule these days. And so Hales, he's really good at monitoring all of that, and he follows up, and if he sees...
Principal Roger Davis has paid special attention to nurturing the connection with former students of the school. After all, its alumni are a venerable who's who of Australian sporting royalty, and it serves as motivation to the current crop of student athletes.
Come on in, boys, grab a seat and grab a piece of paper. Guys, today we're going to be looking at the core values that the group identified last year that they want to be part of the football program ongoing. And as leaders of the program this year, today we're going to be examining how you can make those words live and breathe every day. What we're going to do now is we're going to talk through this collectively.
I think last year we put in place a fair few set of standards that each player is required to meet, and if not, obviously there's punishments involved, but I think that, especially last year, really drove success.
I think it's important. I know you boys are each at different clubs, you know, Bulldogs, Panthers, Eels, but each of those clubs as professional organisations will have standards that you're expected to meet on the field and off. And this is about establishing yourselves as a group and having that identity.
Many people like last year missed out on big games, whether it's for injury or whatever other reason, but...
So what did they do?
Well...
Did they show up, for example?
100%, everyone was there.
Being good winners is just as important as being good losers, because if we're not good winners, we can get ahead of ourselves and think we know more than the game can teach us, and that's when you get into trouble.
I reckon punctuality at school and at training.
Okay.
So making sure you turn up to school on time and training on time, and make sure you're there every day.
Does anybody want to talk about why that might be important as a leader of this football program?
Because then you'll bring everyone else to training and school on time and work as a unit.
It does start at training, and it is owned by the group, because as much as the coaches give you, they're not on the field with you, are they? And they can run out instructions, but you're the boys doing it. Leadership is being there, isn't it? And if you're not attending, you can't be leading, and you're not doing it via remote control. It's being that presence all the time, and if you're injured, you're still there in some capacity, fulfilling a role. So really what we're saying here is the football program that you want, you're going to demonstrate every day. This is to add to your football. This isn't a burden to carry. These are things that colour what you do, that don't weigh you down. Okay, this is to lift you and help you be better footballers and better people. Catch you later, guys.
Westfields' second round game has been forfeited by Illawarra Sports High, whose injury toll has deemed the game unplayable.
I'll just go grab my bag, mate. Thanks for that. Thanks for grabbing mine too, mate.
And so the team gathers in Melbourne to play the other undefeated side of their pool.
We'll go check in, and then we've got dinner at 6:30, and then we'll have a meeting, and then we'll go from there. Sweet? Beautiful. Just make sure that when we go back, and everyone's excited to be in, so they should be. It's a good experience, but it's really important that our standards don't change because we're here, and the school have done the right thing by us by bringing us down here. Let's not ruin that. All good? Let's make sure we'll drive those standards from us, but it's player-driven. Do you have anyone come to see you? No. All right, sweet. But just make sure that we're here and we do the right thing. We understand the school have done the right thing by letting us come down here. We talk about trust, make sacrifice, get the job that we want, eh? Boys, listen up. Everyone, listen up for me. So we know who's in each other's room. Nominate someone from your room to come in. We get our keys. Remember, we go in there, we get ready straight away, get ourselves back on the bus, we go have something to eat. All good?
The nature of travel draws out a spirit of camaraderie, of certain freedoms and independence. In some cases, maybe too much independence.
Let's go, we've got to go. It's going to take you more than 10, 20 minutes to make yourselves look beautiful, boys, so... It become more than just football down there. It become the way they held themselves. You know, our preparation had to be meticulous in terms of the way we eat and sleep, and we look after our bodies, you know, hydrating on the plane, and so we tried to make sure that when we went down there that we made sure we got all that right. So we give ourselves every opportunity to perform well.
Really good finish. Yeah, come on in. Welcome to our group.
It was a really exciting experience for the boys, and to hold them in good stead, you know, for when they go into their junior rep programs.
We enjoyed ourselves, but we knew we also had to go down there and do a job.
Boys, come on. Let's walk with Rua. I was actually going to jog down there anyway, so I'll meet you down there. 17 Ks, yeah. I'll be there in about 15 minutes.
How do you think you went today, Bart? How do you think you went today? You went today. Matt, in English.
Hales, did you order garlic bread?
Did you order garlic prawns to go with your garlic bread? Are you sleeping in a shed of your own or what?
Are you top bunk or am I top bunk or bottom up?
You'd send him up the top.
Top?
Oh, yeah, because, you know, hot air rises, man.
Yeah, we should have come here Thursday. Huh? $16 on a Thursday for a Palmer.
Thank you. I'll just mainly just talk about us. You know that sheet that I put up in the dress room for the boys?
Yeah.
Run hard, tackle hard, energy, completions. Yeah. And that'll do it. I don't want to talk too much about them. Just simple things like that.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Well, Geordie stole your one.
What do you mean I stole your one?
Because you're supposed to be on that one.
Am I?
Yeah, so give Dave that one.
Thanks, man. It's not that bad.
So generous.
Yeah, far out.
Okay, so everyone's in. It's not easy to sleep out of your own bed. I'll struggle, but at least if you're lying in there, even if you're chatting, at least you're just having a rest still. Rightio, so moving on to us and thinking about it, let's break it down to, I guess, what matters the most. It'll be run hard, tackle hard, completions, energy, aggression. Enjoy your night. Don't be stupid. Remember, there are other people in this place. And Halsey asked me a question before. He says, what do you reckon the principal would rather? Go home winners but behave like pork chops? Or us go home losers and people ring him and say what a great bunch of kids you had? I know which one he'd prefer as a principal. Go back, enjoy your room, don't eat all your Tim Tams. Actually, bring all your Tim Tams to my room. Not too much noise, eh? There's a television there.
Oh, we didn't push us down. Yeah. Oh, sweet. Yeah, let's go check it. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh! Let's see. Yeah. We don't muck around here, Westfields.
Preparation is personal. Some call upon academia or the company of friends. Others look to channel a higher power.
This always helps me before a game. It always helps me, motivates me, keeps me focused on God, because I know God helps me throughout my game, you know? Because, you know, we truly believe it's true. Yeah, I like that. So I want to read this one. So, the kingdom of heaven may be compared to a king who gave a wedding feast for his son and sent his servants to call those who were invited to the wedding feast. But they would not come. You know, if I get a chance to play in the game, you know, I always take that chance because every opportunity counts. You know, because these boys are younger than me. You know, I'm just trying to let you know what might happen. You know, when that opportunity comes, but you take it with 2 hands. Pray to God to give you the strength in that. Sweet boys, mad Bible studies. Yeah. Let's talk, boys. Yeah.
How's that feel?
Yeah, it feels good.
Just moving around, just nice and strong early today. Okay. Get some good shots on.
Yeah.
Just make sure we put their blokes on the ground early. You know what your job is, you know what you have to do. Yeah? There's plenty of talk from the back, filling in those spaces. Just make sure, Tommy, really early on in the game, you play like a bit of a fullback. Yeah, must-win game. If we win today, we finish top of our pool. Boys are really excited. We've had a really good preparation and looking forward to the tough game today against Hallam.
What do they call it in Aussie rules, mate? Is it ball up or bounce? What time's centre bounce?
Coach Wayne Lambkin understands the finer details of game day, extending even to the kind of music that gets played on the bus, if there's music to start with.
Boring as back crap on the bus without music. Let's go. Manly's music's all old school. I can sing along to it. got to let the music play, though. You can't keep changing it.
They're a bit like Whitney. Want to dance with somebody or something like that?
The foreign fields of Melbourne lie in wait for New South Wales' best high school rugby league team. They are overwhelming favourites in a game where a loss will end their 2017 campaign.
Just worry about the process that will get the result. Start worrying about the result now, you're going to lose the footy game. You need to worry about what you're going to do in the next hour to win the game. Do you think they play footy like that down here? I don't think so. I don't think they do arm wrestle really good. Let's go, on our feet. Okay, so don't forget those little jobs that we've spoken about. Team goals are really important. It brings us all in together. We're all working for the same things then. Rightio? Okay, put the pressure on these blokes. They don't play under a lot of pressure week in, week out like you kids do. Yeah? They most probably got 2 or 3 oppositions down here that give them a run, the rest of them they flog.
And then a possible bad omen before the game is even underway.
What happened?
Dislocated finger.
It's all right, mate. We don't want to lose the player.
What? Yeah, no, he'll play.
Get in front! Who's that around the legs? Great work, Jordan Main. Complete! Nice, Dane!
The visitors are completely dominant and score from downfield after only a handful of minutes.
Get on, same. Boys, just come through good defence down there. Now, it was Dane's run and he's play the ball. He didn't make a lot of metres, but he just struggled for that play the ball. And if they have to defend you on the back foot, you're going to do simple things like that all day. Play straight, like that.
A second try, and now Coach Lambkin decides to unleash a few beasts.
Feel the army. Be smart, kid. Just need to get to your play the ball, okay? It's going to be tough to start with, but just work through it. On the ground. If you don't put them on the ground, they're going to beat you. It's going to be one of those days. It's tough out here, isn't it? That's a tough breeze. That's a real tough breeze to play in now. Got to be our way to second half, hasn't it?
Slowly and almost unnoticed, the tide begins to turn, with luck starting to fall with the home team.
Terrence, get a card. When we get the ball back, you're going for field. Lindsay goes to lock. Wow, who kicked that? Lindsay? Here it goes. Here she goes.
And then nature decides to intervene. With the opposition within reach, the famed Melbourne squall turns possession and territory into a lottery.
We didn't really adapt well to the conditions, and it was just definitely a lesson for the boys to learn that when those conditions again, hopefully we'll be able to execute a little bit better.
You know, torrential rain, it was pretty confronting and against a very good football side.
Hallam's score to come within 2 points. But despite the threat of elimination, a steely resolve holds Westfields together.
Just that game in that second half when it was really wet, all the boys just looked at each other, we said we can't lose this. And we just stood by each other, we tackled, we took scoots when we had to. We were just completing sets and just doing whatever we had to do to win. And that defined us as a football team, we just didn't want to lose.
It's a direct endorsement of Rob Brown's earlier advice, that the team commits in whole to face adversity as a collective group, ahead of any individual endeavour.
We had a really good training period leading up to the Hallam game, and then the second half brought some challenges with some wild wind and rain, and it was definitely a challenge for the players. The game really shortened up and we had to play nice and tight, and the boys had to change the way that we needed to play, and they managed to fight on and be able to defend their way to a tight 12-10 victory.
As the rain eases, Westfields progress to the next stage of the GIO Cup.
We'll just talk about how we're going to work this next sort of phase, boys. So we're working more on our strength and power, so we want to start moving that weight, all right? So we've still got a moderately heavy weight there that we can start pushing around, all right, but our tempo's changed, okay? So we're coming majority down to 2s and 1s. From our point of view, once they get to the open age, we're able to start loading them a little bit more. Obviously, we need to prepare them to deal with those collisions and the high impacts that they're going to be facing at that elite level. So from our point of view, they've done the groundwork. They've spent from year 7 to year 10 laying that foundation, working really hard on their technique. Control down, drive up. We're going to hop out and across, catch it, yep. Then what I want you to do is jump forward to a double landing. From our point of view, it's about earning the right to lift any load. So our athletes will come in and start, body weight or a dowel, and really earn that process. And if they can't do those movements and do them well with their own body weight, well, they don't progress on. Drive fast, bang. That's it, good, much better. Touch the floor, nice and fast, 20 off. See how he's compensating and driving across? We want to resist that. For rugby league, the general base is vastly the same as every other sport we deal with here. We're looking at getting them technically proficient. We make sure that they're moving well. We're looking at areas that we can prevent injury in. And then once we build that foundation, we look to build upon that with, that physical performance development. For rugby league in particular, we're making sure that, they're big bodies. So we're making sure that they're able to control their own body weight, they're able to lift it well, they're able to land safely before we worry about trying to make them lift any weight or anything associated with external load. Nice flat back position, all right, okay. And lift, good, good. Back down again. Explode off the floor, good, yep. Control down, reset, good, strong, go, good. So we focus not only our team environment and our team physical output, but we look at the individual needs of the athletes. So not only 1 to 13, but we also look at 14 to 17 in terms of our athletes that come on, make an impact in their playing components of their match. Let's go, 10 seconds, come on, push.
Tony Wignall's work will soon pay dividends as the competition moves into the sudden death phase of the season.
And rest, great job, boys, well done.
Next time on The Season.
Between now and the trials, you need to be doing 3 hours of study per week every week.
Come on, Jake, find something!
Unbelievable this is.
There's too many of us worried about what we've done rather than what's going to happen the next 40 minutes. Oi, let's start playing some footy.
For enrolment information, please visit the Westfield Sports Facebook page.